Hello and welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. So I just wanted to take some time to come in to share a little bit about how to work with the energies and the aspects currently available to manifest your union, to bring your union into alignment, to step into that new space of being. So, something that I've been really working through very deeply over the last 6 weeks, and especially over the last week or so, is this deeply embedded unconscious malignancy program, one could say. This distorted feminine templating, ahatana, this distorted mother, this dark mother, this really this like old feminine way of being, ahatana ashine atemone ahatana ashine, and where it's been essentially programmed into your spaces, into your body, into how you navigate your reality, and what you reference and what you work with in order to assist you and support you in moving forward. Ahatana ashene atemone ahashana. So where we may have had like old reference guides, old light guides, old spaces that we have been connected to, ahatana asheni. So closing all of that out, right? Completing all of your work within those spaces, all aspects, right? Coming to fruition, coming to a close, completing that recognition. I like to work with, okay, so we recognize where disorder is occurring. We recognize where in our lives we may be holding on, wherever it may be, right? Within our lives, within our experiences, within how we connect and we relate to the world, and how we are within our life, how we flow through our days, how we connect to others, ahatana ashene atemone, how we are in relationship with others, how we are in intimate relationship with others, and how many times we have shared some very intimate sacred parts with others, or spaces unknowingly, and beginning to move all of that out of our spaces in order to fully move forward. Ahashana ateinena atemone ashine ashini. So I always look at this as like we're releasing out of where we may have been in relationship to something, and releasing into this right relationship. So coming into this this full knowing, this full awareness, and at times it can be very difficult because we want to revert back to what we may have thought we knew, or what we were programmed into, or whatever that may be. And it's truly releasing that out so we can step into this new these new realms of being, these new spaces of being, these ability to recognize that we are within an unfolding, and how to find your place within that unfolding. Ahashana ateine na hatana atemone ashine ashini. So recognizing that everything is happening at once, and how do you find your center within that? How do you find your peace within that? How do you find your peace within the chaos and the confusion? And in order to do that, right, there is a process that one must, a transformational process that one goes through in order to truly become new again. Ahatana ashine na hatana atemone ashine ashini. And for many, this may mean where we have been separated out from certain intimate experiences or relationships that were intended to have, because of past trauma, programming, perhaps, where we have trauma bonded with another, where we have given our power away. Ahatana, ashine na hatana. And so reclaiming that power in that recognition of one's true light, one's truth, and bringing that forth. Ahatana, ashine, birthing that forth, birthing that into being, holding that space. Ahashana atemone ahatana. So creating that space to birth this new into, to bring this new life into. Ahashana ateine ahatana. And so this is that reconnection to that sacred feminine, right? The sacred, the life-giving potential, the potential for transformation, the potential for change, the potential to truly release out of that, that cocoon, that space that one has been within. Ahatana, ashemone, ahatana, and spreading one's wings to fly, to create that that new effect moving forward. Ahatana, asheine, na hatana, atemone, ashine, ashine. So where we have been affected by these dark masculine, these dark feminine energies, right, where they have manipulated us, where they have controlled us from within our own experience, from within our connection with others, however that has affected you, you have this potential at this time to shift out of that and to, through that process, through that pattern, create that new. So it's that, that recognition of that malignancy, of that, I see it almost as like this, malignant tumor. Let's say you have this malignant tumor, like that's growing inside of you, right? And if you're not aware of it, right, you're not able to heal it, but when you become aware of it, then you have that potential, right, to change your patterns, whatever was contributing to that malignancy within your body temple, within your life. Like, so removing that, malignancy out from within your own space, but through that process, also bringing to light that tumor, that malignancy, that cancerous energy, right? Exposing it to the light, and through that process, healing yourself. Ahashana ateine na atana. Ashemone ashine ateine ateine. So what I had intended to come in here for was to do this. We're entering into this, we're in the dark moon phase, just before that rebirth, right? That moment of transition, that moment before we are, we bring, right, we birth, we push out, we bring that into this, into the world, that new, right, that we have created, that we have held within our space, and that we are now bringing to fruition, bringing forth, being within, existing within. So where you may have felt separate from your own ability to create or manifest, or where you feel like it's just not, no matter what you do, it's just not working and you just can't quite get there. Where all these things are contributing to that, that ill effect, right? That then is being also almost like blamed on you. So it's that, where you are in this right alignment, and yet what may be around you or surrounding you is then, as you step into that space, it's like this thing comes in and attempts to distort the truth or the reality of your own being, or to create something, and then you become the problem, even though you are in alignment, right? You are in alignment, and it's that attempt to distort or to skew. So learning how to be within your own power within that experience. So no, that's not what I'm sharing. That's not what I'm saying. Please do not attempt to create that distortion, because no, we're done here. We're not going to allow that to continue. Because it's just not true, right? It's just not true. And so you're holding to your own awareness, to your own, right, experience. And it's almost as if, like, where we have been silenced, right, where we have not even been able to bring that that voice through, it's like they just don't want to hear it, because it's true. They'll do everything in their power. They can't handle it, right? It's like where you would like hold somebody, right? Like, no, you can't continue to do this. We're not going to allow you to do this anymore. Like, where somebody would attack you, and then you're just able to, essentially like subdue them and like hold them there. Like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're just not doing this anymore. I won't allow this to continue, right? That is just not true, right? I have my own experience here. Thank you very much. And whatever is you're attempting to distort or to create or to manifest, right, for your own small personal ego, whatever that may be, whatever you got going on over there, that you need this from me, like, no, we're done. You can't take this from me, because you're creating something that is just simply not true. And so really, really owning our power in every single moment, every single experience, and then completing that, right? Coming into that completion, like, okay, we're done here. I completed this. We're done. I'm free now. Right? I'm free. I have freed myself of this experience. And for some, I know for me personally, this has been a very long journey, right? A very long journey, a very personal, right? A personal journey, one could say. So removing out of where you may be in this cult programming, this demonic cult programming, where you are being run, you're being taken, you're being used and abused to really distort reality. Like, you yourself are also being used as a pawn in someone else's delusion or someone else's game. So coming into that recognition of that, and through that process, you empower yourself, and you remove that, and you remove yourself from that, right? And you no longer allow that to continue. That where they, right? And I say they, I just mean that, right? That program, that how it's manifested itself through your life where you have not been in your power, and then you're coming into this power now, right? And we're all coming into this power now, and this is where we embody our true authentic selves, and through that process we align and we create that new, we birth in this new paradigm, right? This new paradigm. So having learned, having processed, having released, having reordered, having healed, having recovered, having excavated these very, very deep wounded aspects that we may not have been aware of. And that last, it's those energies like, ooh, God, I can't believe I allowed that into my field. Right? Oh no, oh my gosh. And then it's that, okay, we can forgive, right? Because as we go through that process, we also, we give that permission to another to also, to go there, right? To go there, to heal. And it's not to get, for those of us who are trauma survivors, we can get stuck, right? It's like we can't just quite complete that process. And so also recognizing where, where it's still playing itself out. So that full release, that trauma of that, like where we don't know who to trust, we feel separate, we feel alone. Oh my gosh, all that distortion. So coming back within yourself, coming back within your own energies. And this so this resetting your own boundaries, no longer allowing this to continue, however that is for you individually, and removing that which has essentially infiltrated into your space, where you have been violated, where you did not understand or truly consent to something, where you gave your power away. Where you silenced yourself to allow another to really have their way with you. We're not going to do that anymore. So, each of us individually, and then as we complete, we rise and we hold this higher vibration, individually, collectively. We hold this higher space, this higher knowing, this we are free, right? We are free, we are free, we are free. So just something that I've been witnessing, and I have some links below for your reference, with just everything going on right now. So there is a way forward, right? There is a way to stop feeding into any of this stuff, and to source for yourself, right? Come into your own awareness, tune in and understand something for yourself, but from your own wholeness, from what you have already established as your truth, as who you are as a light being. So this rising out of that false consciousness, so it's almost as if, like, okay, so if we're to look at like this, like the twin flame, right, cult, right, the twin flame, the ascent, all these, where people have distorted or manipulated something, right? Like this, this process, right? So releasing that out, releasing yourself out of that. So within this false consciousness, like where you are feeding into, right, the machine, the propaganda machine, the oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you know, this is happening. Okay, but it may not really be happening the way that it's being portrayed to you. It's that. So it's almost like a false activation, like where you are activated into this realm of being, but it's not the true reality. And so you're being taken, right, for a ride, and you're feeding into this, and yet over here there's this actual reality that is not being tended to. So it's that stepping back into, you know, okay, your own space, your own reality. What is happening here? How can I come into this this desire, this alignment to manifest this wholeness for myself, fully, wholly, and completely. Ahashana, ashemone, asheni. Say no more to that. Ateine, hatana, asheni. I'm good here. Right, really, like, just, I don't consent to this. It's as simple as that. I do not consent to this. I don't want this in my space. I don't want this in my body. I don't want this near me. I don't want this happening anywhere. And it's just saying no to that, right? It's just saying no to that. Like, no, we're not going to have this anymore. We're not going to allow this to continue anymore. This just isn't right. Ahashana, ateine, hatana, shemoni. And nope, we're done, right? It's that energy. And bringing that in for yourself, right? And bringing that in for yourself, and to create that, right? You are the creator, right? You are the one who says, no more. Ahashana, ateine, hatana, ashene, ashene, ashene. So, where, you know, removing yourself where you may be stuck in this false consciousness, this false construct, where you are really feeding into the delusion. Ahashana, ashene, atemon. No matter where it is, no, that's just not true. Like, you know, and just that full recognition coming in, and then, you know, you yourself healing it through yourself, and then you yourself being able to hold that space with another as they right, unravel, right, that where they have been stuck within something as well. Ahashana, ateine, ashemoni. That's just not, you know, it's a false reality. It's you know, this so we are obviously seeing malignant narcissism, right, on a grand scale. And as a highly sensitive, empathic being, right, you think other people are like you, right? But not everybody's like you, right? Not everybody has that capacity to hold that empathy. And what happens often is we project this, you know, we project ourselves onto another. We think another is like, you know, that they are like us. And yet they aren't. Right? They don't have that that wire, that ability, that connection, that wherever it may be, right? They are cut off from that. And we may think that, oh, well, if I do this or if I do that, then maybe. But that's just not true. So you come into this acceptance of just what is. It's okay, right? It just is. That's just where, that just is, right? That exists. That is in existence. No matter how ugly it may seem. But it's allowing it to exist because it does exist. And when you allow something to exist as it is, then you are able to exist as you are. Ahatana ashine na hatana ashimone ashine ashine ashine. Now, and that is so you are no longer enabling, right? That almost this like this entanglement, ahashana ashine, this false entanglement, that. So rising above, no longer allowing something to affect you because you've already come into your power, right, regarding it. And you are really, you could say, like joining forces with others who have also, right, gone through this, and experiencing that feeling of safety. Ahashana ashemone ahatana ashene. Yes, 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 it's that. Ateine na hatana ashemone ashene ashene. So, you know, when we talk about this like light and love, like when we have people, oh, you know, oh, just be in light and love. Oh, no, no, no. It's saying no to that. No. It's saying no. There are things happening here, right, that need to be tended to, that must be addressed. Ahashana asheine na hatana. These things that are hiding in plain sight that you just may not be aware of, or you are somehow, right, creating a false reality within that. So removing that, whatever is not allowing you to fully recognize or fully see the truth. Ahashana ashemoni, just as it is, the light, the truth, and not falling into that perhaps the victim, right? The victimhood programming, the being victimized by this. Yes, and yet at the same time, you are the survivor. I'm bringing. Okay, so if any of you have been following like the whole Epstein thing, so you know Epstein and Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, it's like they essentially have they created this, right? And you can say, okay, dark father, dark mother, right? They've created this. They had created this like sick world, right? The sick world, and these people were being, you know, these women, these young women, were being lured into this, you know, with promises of this and that. And they are all, right, they vulnerable, right? They're vulnerable women because of the families they can't, you know, they grew up in, or, you know, whatever it may be, right? They become vulnerable to this, and they get pulled into this with, you know, promises of this or that, and then it's like you become stuck in it, and you become a part of that, right? That system, that network, that world, right? That dark world. That is like that is sex trafficking, right? That is how it happens, right? It happens because, number one, you have sick people creating this, right? This sick, twisted fantasy for others to come into, right? And to get their sick fantasies met, right? And then you have these victimized women, these women who are vulnerable, who, you know, are being, you know, promised this or promised that, and it's the slow manipulation. It's this, and then it's this, and then it's this, and then it's this, and that's how they get you in, right? That's how they do that. So it's okay. So that is, right, that is how it works, right? That is how it works. It's that's number one, right? And it's that, and I don't know if you've watched the Netflix documentary, but it has the women, you know, who were pulled into this dark world, and they share, right? They're sharing their experience. They're sharing what was really happening behind the scenes, and they themselves, right, for me personally, having gone through this process of, having to essentially being stuck within another's delusion, right? Another sick world, being lured in, being pulled in, and being within it, energetically, right? With, being pulled into it, existing within that space, feeding that into that malignancy, feeding into that, giving energy to it, allowing it to fester, allowing it to grow, right? When you come into recognition of what is happening, you still have to go through that process of essentially reprogramming yourself, right? Of getting the support you need. Anybody who leaves an abusive situation behind, you will go back to another abusive situation if you do not complete that recovery. And I know myself, having done it, and even to the point where it was so subtle that I would have, right? So really getting to the nuanced versions of that, and where this is happening anywhere within your space. And then, right, speaking your story, speaking your truth, bringing it out. And it's scary, right? It's scary because of all of that, everything that has been already, because that's what they do. They program it in you, right? That you're just this, and you can only stay in this space, and this is, you're just stuck here, right? This is who you're going to be for the rest of your life, and yada, yada, yada. And it's not an easy process to free yourself of that. But what happens is, oftentimes when somebody frees themselves, right, they don't get the support they need, they will go back to that because that's all they know. And they don't even realize it. Even when they have those intentions to heal, they don't even realize it. And it's that, and it's finally getting to that completion. We're done here. This is never going to happen again. I've seen the full, right? I've seen the full picture. We're done. I know I kind of went off there, but that, again, it's that, right? So it's not just about, sitting and meditating and doing all these things to create this new earth, because the truth of the matter is that in and of itself, you are being taken advantage of. And I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it with my friends, right? People who are, within the spiritual community, and it's this denial, right? Or it's this, oftentimes we if we have not completed our healing too, we get something out of it, right? Some kind of sense of, doing something, but not really doing something, if that makes sense. It's a feeling yay, I did something today, but it's not real. It's not substantial. It can be performative, right? It's optical. It's, and it's really moving deeper into removing that and truly, shining your light, being love, true love. And not getting pulled back into it in any way, shape, or form, and holding that space. So at this time, it's really easy to feel powerless, and so taking your power back from everything is key here. This hive programming, right? This hive programming where everybody has to think the same or be the same. We're all one. A great movie to witness this, or to kind of see it, is the movie with Benedict Cumberbatch. He's like a mystic. Oh, Doctor Strange. And in Doctor Strange, you have this malignant force, this this desire to just like this be in this, right, this false oneness. It's just a hive mind. It's not individual consciousness. It's not individual soul being. It's not individuality, right? And it's a great film to witness this. And I love, like, in the end, or towards the end, like, the character Doctor Strange, he creates this feedback loop, like, and he continues. It's like you won't let, it just won't continue, right? It's just never going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It's just he creates this feedback loop where it's like, nope, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And it's that, and I don't remember exactly how it ends, but eventually, right, things come to a conclusion and it ends. But it's that, I feel like that's a good, if you haven't seen that movie, it's a good movie to kind of understand where we're at. So really, really taking your power back from everything, bringing in your own light, bringing in your own frequency, bringing in your own power at this time, releasing everything out that tries to distort it or to change it or to fix it. Or, I had this really, I've had a lot of weird experiences, over the last month or so, but because people are, where they are. Oh, and this is another thing, another false thing too, is like this idea of, well, everybody's on different timelines. No, we're not doing that anymore. Bull fucking shit. No. We're all living in a shared reality here. I'm not going to allow your stupid bullshit timeline to affect me or to affect my family, right? My family, my way forward, my well-being. Right? It's that I'm not going to allow this to affect my well-being, your choices. No, it's not going to be allowed anymore, because the truth of the matter is we all live on this planet and we all exist within a shared reality on this planet, right? We all do. We all are here. And what somebody over there does, right, or chooses to do, if they hold power, right, and they are abusing that power, what do? You take your power back and you say, no, we're not going to allow this to continue. We're done here, right? We're done. And that is what is happening. And because of that, right, because of our reclaiming ourselves and our power, the people that have been holding that, right, power over us are getting mad, and they're getting angry. And so when that happens, they have to seek to control, right? Okay, well, I'm going to control, I'm going to distort so I can still hold on to this power, right? I can't lose this power, right? It's that. Because that's all they have, which is really not even true power anyways. It's just your power within some false system, right, that is in existence. So it's this creating your own system within the shared reality that benefits the all. So holding that space. So I want to just share, that that with others, and those who may be feeling powerless, may be feeling like, like the victim, right? This is not to take away from any part of that, of your trauma or your experience. And yet, when you stay within that victimhood, that is where you draw in, right, the opportunity for another to abuse you again, right? So this is perpetual victim. Because you're not building, right, your self up. You haven't truly freed yourself fully, wholly, and completely from that dynamic. And we stay in these dynamics because we want it to change for the next time, right? But it won't work that way, right? You have to pull yourself out of it, right? It's not going to work like that. You cannot create that dynamic again, right? It's creating this new dynamic, right? Of holding your own, being able to hold your own space and be in a shared reality, in a shared space with others, and be at peace, be in this human family. So I wanted to share that. So for me, again, this dark moon release, what's being released, what's not coming forward, what we're done with, right? Completing that fullness, that wholeness, we're done here. Yep. And then, and then as we enter into this solar eclipse, it's that, right? That sealing that out. So it's not gonna pull you back into its mess, right? It's not your mess to fix. It's not yours to clean up. And then creating that new paradigm moving forward. So what is it going to be like from now on, right? What do we create here? And so like when it comes to, let's say, within an intimate sacred partnership with your divine masculine, your divine feminine, the one you love, the one you're choosing to create this new with, right? Stepping into that space, having healed, right? No longer creating something new, right? Creating something new moving forward. Ooh, and releasing that out. And for some, this is going to be, I know for me, the last few days has been like, it's been like, I've experienced it in different ways, but like birthing, it's that, like, I've literally, like, over the last few days, it's just been, I've been removing these, like this horrible, like, frequency from my energy field that was just, creating so much havoc and so much distortion for me. And I had thought in my mind that this was, right, helping me. And it couldn't have been farther from the truth. Ooh, and it was not a comfortable process to, like, get it out, to get that ooh. So for those of you who need some support and assistance at this time, I am available for you, because this is really like, as we move into the embodiment, right? It's to, right, for me, I know, like, I had to experience within the body. I had to remove from the body, right, that it out of your cellular structure, right? And it's almost as if, like, like removing like a demon, a malignancy from your field, a tumor that is affecting your ability to be, like, whole and complete in yourself, and you had thought was helping you, was in fact not. And you began to come to that realization, and oh wow, and then it's like, get it out, right? It's almost like at the same time you can also experience this as, like, I had looked at it as, like, okay, so that's like an old birth process, that get it out, but that's not, how we are intended to birth life into this world. It's how do we welcome this life into this world? How do we receive this? Not get it out, get it out, get it out, right? And that's that like birth trauma. Right? That's that birth. Birth is meant to be this gentle, loving process. And unfortunately, we have been, we don't have that available to us within mainstream, like, hospital births and all of that. So, I'm just brought to that. But it's that, right? So it's that transformational process into something new, right? As you remove that old, and through that again. So how do you move your body to remove out? How do you actualize that for yourself? So it's almost as if you're reprogramming your physical body to no longer, right, tune into that frequency or tune into that, that reality that's happening over there that is having a negative effect on you. Ahashana, Ashine, Nahatana, Ashine, wherever it may be, because it can be very deeply embedded. So as to go deeper to remove that out, because you shouldn't have anything else going on. To be in that peace, right? To be in that peace, to be in that loving space, that honoring space. The honoring of the sacred feminine. Ahashana, Ashine, Nahatana, Ashine, Ashine. That merge, that merge of that sacred masculine, sacred feminine into this wholeness, into this oneness, into this creating this new, this new human family moving forward. Ahashana, Ashine, Nahatana, Ashine, Ashine. The new human, family. So as we, again, so the solar eclipse, right, we're not going to allow that to continue anymore. We come into our own power. We say, no, this is not right for me. I am well. I am moving forward now. I am creating this new paradigm moving forward for myself, as well as for others who would enjoy sharing this new paradigm space with me, right? It's that for me, I know I've been, it's this new paradigm leadership. So how do you lead the way forward without, being a dictator or a, nope, it has to be this way or this, but no, it's this, right? How do we lead the way forward? How do we come into our knowing, our power as a sacred feminine collective, right? Within our own individual power, as well as our greater power to affect change. Where we may have felt powerless. How do we, right, step into our village, right, and say, no, we're going to change this, right? What is our village? Where is our village? We're going to change this. Rather than necessarily just creating groups, right, where everybody thinks the same. But how do we truly affect change within the village? And allow everything to just happen naturally as we create that new village, as we create that new collective, as we create that new, right? Because as a sacred feminine, it's not to just live in this, right, this old world that is dying. We are responsible for creating the sacred world. We are the creators. We birth life into this world as new life-giving potential. What will you choose to give life to? And what will you allow to just die because it is no longer acceptable or in alignment with who you truly are and what we are intended to create moving forward. So I'll be back tomorrow. I may do a live tomorrow for the new moon to set some intentions. So what we would be focusing on would be this coming out of this cocoon, right? So completing this transformation, sudden change, right? This big shift out into, right? This coming into this new space, this new beginning, this new space for growth. And it's all happening at once, and so it's like existing within that right, all like almost like wrapped, within yourself, and then blossoming and blooming. So it will be in Capricorn. So this I see it as this, this the merging of the between these two. We had the lunar eclipse, and then now we have the solar eclipse, and it's like between these two eclipses, it's like we have both the feminine and the masculine rebirthing themselves. And it is the feminine who essentially like rebirths the masculine into being. So where we have where we have silenced ourselves, right? It stayed locked within this chamber. It's this pushing forth, right? It's this, no, this is just, I'm going to allow this to just birth forth. I'm going to allow this to come in. I'm going to allow my truth to be, my deep, 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 deep truth to be expressed. Everything, right? That love, that deep love that you have within yourself, that is so ready to be heard and to be felt and to be experienced. For the sacred feminine, for the sacred masculine. And how does that feel to you to be able to truly express your truth, to truly express how you feel, to truly express what you experienced, what you have experienced, and to be able to hold that intimate space, to really be able to hold that intimate space. To be at peace, to be in love. So tomorrow we will come out of the cocoon, right, and become that butterfly, right? Become that butterfly. So, so almost like this, the death of the old father template, right? Right, the dark father, the right, and at the same time the dark mother. Like we're not gonna know these distorted creations will no longer be allowed to exist, right, on this planet. Those who do harm, right, will no longer be able to exist on this planet in like peace or have any kind of power or any kind of control over things. Releasing all of that out, right, connecting to this, source, Mother Earth, right, this alignment moving forward. So the divine fatherhood, divine motherhood, right, the divine father, the divine mother, these new systems, for sacred masculine, sacred feminine, these, right, how will we create the new? And everything's like, it's like these last little bits are just kind of moving into place, right? I know I've been using this term of like end game or like chess. It's like, and I'm not like a chess player, but the, working with the, how chess is played, it's that. So it's like, everything's there, right? Everything's there, everything's set up, and it's like, I keep getting like Queen's Gambit, right? But not this is like the true, fair game, you could say. True fair game, right? It's that. Not to, make it a game or, anything like that, but it's just that, okay, we're gonna play it, we're done now, right? Everything's set up, now we can play out those last few pieces. And then you're like done, right? Everything is in its place, you make your move, and then here we are, right? We've all connected, right? It's that, everything in connection. And it's happening now, and yet you must complete. Right? It's not to get scared now. Now is the time to make that move. Now is the time to make that move. To shift that new paradigm forward. So I hope some of you will be able to join me tomorrow. Maybe around noon Pacific. I'll hop on live. And we can do our, new moon intention setting. So working with these energies that I just kind of described, and the shift out and the shift into, what will be your intentions, right, for the next, for this moon cycle, working within that, like that sphere. Perhaps it's, completing some familial healing, right? Your templates, your patterns that you grew up within, so you're no longer passing that on to the next generation. And it's always remembering you cannot change anybody. You cannot change anybody. It's not about healing anybody else. It's about healing yourself, right? Of these patterns, of where you allowed it to continue, right? Of where you allowed it to, how you played into it, whatever it may be. You're just not going to play into it anymore, right? It's a boundary there. Nope, we're done here. Like, you have to deal with your stuff over there, and I'm going to continue to move forward in my, in my peace, in my love, in my, new life. And it's not to, exclude. It's not to exclude. It's to create, and then hold that space to allow another, right, to step into when they are in alignment, right? When they feel to, when it's, when they're ready to heal as well. But it's not to allow them to get in, right? To get in, to distort, to manipulate, to control, to feed their own agenda, right? Or to feed their own fantasy, their own delusion. Whatever that may be. To no longer support it. To say, no, I do not consent to this. I do not consent to this. It's that. And through that process, right, we birth in this new sacred world, this new sacred life that we are creating for ourselves. Within alignment, to the all that is, right? It's not, to create anarchy. It's to reclaim your power within the whole, to shift, right? To do your part, right? Not to give your power away to something outside of you, thinking that thing, right, that's going to bring you something, because it won't. And this can be very difficult because things that you thought you were in alignment with, because of whatever distortion was being created or was created that you may have gotten pulled into, becomes very clear. And that can be a big shift to make. And it's not always comfortable. It's not comfortable, it's just not. So I'm wishing you all very much a happy dark moon. And so looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow on the other side of this sealing out of these old things, right? We're just not gonna, no, it's that, right? Nope. We're done with that over here. Now that we're done, so what are we going to create moving forward? With an alignment to that which you are already intended to create. So, we'll connect tomorrow. Toodaloo.